Good morning. Welcome to week 13. This is our last week before spring break. So let me point out two important announcements. One, everything for this week, because we have a 4-day week, Friday's a holiday, has a due date of 4/17, which is Monday after spring break. I do encourage you, though, try to finish up each day's assignments that you have so that you don't have to work so hard either that last day of break or the Monday that we return and you have a ton of assignments to do. The 50% credit deadline is the 23rd of April. So let me go ahead and scroll down here. You'll see that on Friday, I put a note in here that spring break begins and to have a wonderful and safe holiday. And then you'll come back on Monday, the 17th. All right, so let's take a look at what you're doing this week. We're going to work on World War II. We're going to finish it up, but we're also going to talk about the Holocaust, which takes place during World War II, and that will have to carry over after spring break. I had hoped to try to get it finished before spring break so we could just start a new unit, but I can't quite cram it into that small amount of time. So, as far as assignments that I would like for you to do, let's see, let me look. Yes, I do want you to do the World War II timeline and the war in the Pacific because we really didn't talk about the war in the Pacific at all in your other class. So, the first thing you do is you click on this website, and it is a slideshow. Now, there's a lot of slides. We're not going to give any particular focus onto any of them. I do want you to scroll through them, though. You're going to have this same concept in much more detail in high school, and you'll be surprised at what you remember as this will take you through chronologically how things happened. There's some videos on some of these. Some of them will play in the middle school filter, and some of them won't. Don't worry about the ones that won't. Play the short ones that you can, and just don't worry about those others because you'll get more of this a little bit later. I do want you to do the Ed Puzzle video about the war in the Pacific, because what's happening is after Japan has attacked Pearl Harbor, the United States has to make some decisions about where to send troops. Do they send it to the Western Front, which is going to be in Europe, or do they send it to the Philippine Islands and the Sea of Japan, which is where this is the Pacific Theater, or where are they going to send it? Because technically the war is being fought in 3 different areas at one time, which for Germany is a very, very difficult thing to deal with. It's almost impossible to fight on 2 fronts at one time, let alone 3. So do complete that. All right. And then you're going to go to D-Day. D-Day is when the decision is made by the Allies. At this point in the war, Germany has taken over all of Western Europe. They've taken over France. France is occupied now. And the Allies, the several other countries that are on the Allies side, decide that instead of allowing Germany just to fight on the Eastern Front, which is fighting with the Soviet Union right now, look, you did that in Operation Barbarossa. Now they're going to squeeze Germany. They're going to try to take France back and begin to push open this Western Front. So this is all about D-Day and the landing of D-Day. And I wish my father were still alive because he was part of that invasion. And I wish I had the chance to ask him some personal questions about this, but I don't. All right, so this will give you kind of an overview of what happened. And then this is much later in history. This is a guy named Rick Stevens, and he tours around in lots of places. But he went to Normandy, France, which is where the invasion started. And what I thought was so moving was all of these markers here that marked all of the deaths from Omaha Beach, which is where the landing was in Normandy. And this is just a little quick clip that sort of shows what it looks like today. And then the other assignment that I also want you to do for this week is about propaganda. We did not do a whole lot with this. You did a small assignment with it, but because it plays such a big part in World War II, I do want you to do this assignment. The first thing is to watch this video because it will explain the purpose of propaganda and the different types and how it's used and kind of how to analyze it. Then I'm asking you to choose an image for World War II propaganda and then analyze it, answering these 4 questions. Describe what the written portion looks like. What does it say? Then what are were the colors and the images used? Explain the purpose of the image. What action is it that they want you to take? Because propaganda is always designed to convince people to do something or believe something, usually do something. So what is the purpose of the one that you chose? And then explain your reaction to it. Is it convincing? Is it appealing? Would you follow the action for it? And upload your image with your analysis on it. All right. And then the end of, I'm sorry, science and technology. Yeah, okay, this is a page. This is not an assignment, but I do want you to take a look at this. Science and technology sort of come together in World War II. We were fearful, or Albert Einstein was very fearful that Germany was trying to develop nuclear weapons, and he talked to the President Truman about what was going on and the need for the United States to develop nuclear weapons as well. So I want you to read about Einstein. He had some misgivings about this because I think more than anybody else, he probably understood what was going to happen, what the massive amount of destruction that this particular piece of scientific technology was going to be able to cause. So read his thoughts about that. And then the United States takes his advice and begins the Manhattan Project. And I know that we did something with this for your last class, but just watch the quick video here that kind of will refresh your memory about what the Manhattan Project was. As far as the events that end the World War II, this is the dropping of the bomb on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. You can omit doing this assignment if you want to rewatch the video or look at the questions again. Feel free to do that. This is a slightly different assignment than you had before, but at the least, you might want to just watch the video just to remind yourself of the tremendous amount of devastation that was caused by that. And then point of no return is our next assignment. And the idea is if you study history that you won't make the same mistakes, not that there's any guarantee. And history still argues whether dropping this bomb, which was a tremendous impact, so many lives lost with this, innocent civilian lives, was it worth it or not? So I've asked yourself, could you put yourself in the place of President Harry Truman, because he is the one who ultimately has to say, yes, drop the bomb, or no, don't drop the bomb. So complete the short actively learn assignment about how he felt about that. All right, and then this is about what happened to Hitler. The war is coming to a close. Hitler knows he is going to lose. So at that point, he chooses to take his own life. And this is just a little summary, no assignment necessary, but this is just a little summary of how that played out, because he knew if he were ever put on trial that he was really going to be heavily punished for all the things that happened. We did VE Day and VJ Day before, so you can skip this assignment if you want to watch the little video about the celebration. Remember, VE Day is victory in Europe and VJ Day is victory in Japan. And it's celebrated two different days because the war ended. It was so big, it ended in two different places at two different times. But you can omit that assignment. I do want you to do this particular assignment on the war crimes, because we really didn't talk that much about the Nuremberg trials. This is a Duxter's website, so you'll read the information, take the quiz until you get at least 80, and then send me the snapshot or submit the snapshot that has that. So do complete that assignment. And then Introduction to the Holocaust. We did some things with the Holocaust. We are going to go into it a little bit deeper here. So your first assignment is an actively learned, it's very short, actively learned assignment that just introduces or reintroduces the Holocaust. I do want you to do that. Let's see. No, this is not the one that says that one. Okay. And then you've got one assignment with Duxter's again that will give you a more detail about the Holocaust. And I do want you to do this one as well. This is also a little quick video on Kristallnacht. I know we did that last time, but this does not have work that goes with it. It's just the video. This one, though, do the Holocaust, do the reading, and take your snapshot for the quiz for that. And then this is what I was trying to think of a minute ago. Um, so just a personal account of what happened, a particular person. This, first of all, this is a map that shows where the death or the Nazi concentration camps are. Several of them are still standing. They have been preserved so that people don't forget about what happened. I've been to Germany, but I have not been to any of them. Um, it certainly would not be a place that you would say you would enjoy visiting, but for the sake of history, it would really be quite a moving thing to see. If you ever get to Washington, D.C., and you get a chance to go to the Holocaust Museum that's there, again, it's not a museum that you technically enjoy, but I really think everybody ought to have to see that because it just will blow your mind to see the suffering that was inflicted on so many millions of people in the name of purifying a race, which is basically what Hitler and the Nazis wanted to do. So this is a quick little blurb about a girl who was a child at the time that her family was rounded up and was sent to Auschwitz. She does survive this. It's short. But if you have an interest in reading a little more about it, because I'm kind of limited in what I can show to middle school, the movie or the book, The Boy in the Striped Pajamas, is an excellent way to understand what went on inside these concentration camps. And I hate to end our week on such a downer note for an assignment, but it is necessary. Just the timing just happened to work out that way. When we come back after spring break, we will finish up the Holocaust in a lesson or two. So have a safe spring break, and I'll see you in a little over a week.